You've probably seen the scary headlines. The ones claiming that being alone is the new smoking, and that staying in on a Friday night is somehow ruining your health. If you're someone who actually enjoys your own company, hearing that probably makes you feel a little broken. You look at your life and think, I like eating lunch in my car. I like turning my phone on Do Not Disturb. I like quiet weekends. Is there something wrong with me? The short answer is no. But the longer answer uncovers a massive misunderstanding about how we live today. We've completely confused the pain of feeling lonely with the absolute necessity of just taking a break from people. Let's look at a typical Tuesday.
You wake up and immediately check a screen where a dozen people have left messages demanding your attention. You go to work where you have to nod, smile, and act enthusiastic in meetings. You navigate office drama. You come home and you manage the moods of your partner, your kids, or your roommates. When the weekend finally arrives and you cancel plans just to sit in a quiet room, society calls that withdrawing. But you aren't withdrawing from your friends. You are withdrawing from the performance. Think about the sheer exhaustion that comes from forcing a smile, watching what you say, and managing other people's feelings all day. Almost every adult with a smartphone is doing this 24/7. It drains you.
When you finally get a moment to yourself, you are running toward the only place where you don't have to perform. You are seeking a space where your facial expressions don't matter, where nobody is watching your reactions, and where you don't have to fix anyone else's bad mood. If you don't understand this difference, the fallout is heavy. You'll feel guilty for needing space. You'll force yourself to go to dinners when your social battery is dead. And because you're running on empty, you won't actually connect with anyone. You'll just sit in a crowded room, quietly annoyed, wondering why you feel so incredibly lonely when you're surrounded by people.
Here is the uncomfortable reality. Forcing yourself to be social when you are drained is worse for you than just staying home. We use the words loneliness and solitude like they mean the same thing, but your body knows the difference. When researchers at MIT looked at the brains of people who were forced into isolation, they found that loneliness looks exactly like starvation. The brain panics. It feels like a physical threat. But choosing to be alone is a completely different story. Psychologists at the University of Buffalo studied people who naturally prefer their own company. They found that when you decide to be alone, your brain doesn't panic. It relaxes. It uses that quiet time to organize your thoughts, process messy emotions, and figure out what you actually care about. This explains a hidden trap in modern life. If you never give yourself permission to be alone, you lose track of who you actually are. You turn into a chameleon. You constantly adapt to the vibe of the room, adopting the opinions of your coworkers, absorbing the stress of your spouse, and mirroring the outrage of your social media feed. Without the quiet time that solitude provides, your identity slowly fades. The cost of never being alone is that you eventually become a stranger to yourself. This leaves us with a choice about how we manage our time, our careers, and our relationships. A behavior can make perfect sense, like retreating to your bedroom after a hard day, and still wreck your life if you use it to hide. We have to be honest about why we are spending time alone. Are you alone because you are recharging from a crazy week? Or are you alone because you are avoiding a difficult conversation you need to have? Are you shutting your office door to focus and get things done? Or are you hiding because you don't know how to set boundaries with a toxic boss? One makes you stronger. The other slowly shrinks your world. If you realize your alone time is genuinely helping you recharge, you need to change how you handle it today. First, stop apologizing for it. When you turn down an invitation, stop making up elaborate excuses. Stop saying you were sick or slammed with work. Start normalizing the truth. I've had a massive week and I need to recharge tonight, but let's grab coffee next week. Second, start scheduling zero expectation zones. Don't wait until you are completely burned out to take a break. build pockets of time into your week where you are completely unreachable and where absolutely nothing is expected of you. No texts, no emails, no talking. The world will always push you to be more connected, more available, and more visible. But the most grounded people, the most patient parents, and the most reliable friends are rarely the ones who are always on. They are the ones who understand that stepping away from the world is the only way they can find the energy to keep showing up for it.